Well, today is graduation mass. We honor our graduates. So let's begin by asking all those recently graduated to please stand up. I know you're scattered out there. I know you're there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's Sigmund? Where's? Okay, where are you, Where's Sigmund? I don't see him. Oh, he's back. See in the tech room? He's back by the tech room. Okay, very good. Let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming. Thank you. Now, these young people, I got to know most of these young people. And the reason I got to know them because they were very involved. A lot of these people were very involved. Some of these people were very involved in our youth group, including living stations. So I got to know them there. A couple of the other ones got involved in tech ministry. So we got to know them there. We got to know a couple of them because, this is near and dear to my heart, they ushered since their confirmations, which is what I did, to have ushers. And after this Mass, the Men's Club is going to honor all of them with a lovely dinner that's being prepared now over at the Courier Center. But on graduation Mass, we do honor those particular seniors who served up on the altar with me. And this year we have Devin Wooters. So Devin, come on up. Stand here, Devin. Now Devin, when I remember he started serving, he was about this high. And then every year it just kept going and going and going. And Devin got to the point that he outgrew all of our altar server robes. Nothing come close. So what I found for him, that he's been wearing for the last 3 years, this is the robe I was ordained in. So that's why he fits that thing. So I just got to say it's awesome. Devin, you have been fantastic. And I'll never forget on Good Fridays when he got to the point when I asked him to help me carry the cross, he picked the thing up with one arm. Anyway, Devin, this is from me to you. Thank you. Just to let you know that I think it's fantastic. How about a applause for my senior server here? You're welcome. All right. Now, hold on. I'm not done. Now, for my homily. Yes, a walking stick. About 13, 14 years ago, when you get old, you forget how many years it's been. My godson, first cousin, Brian Bishop, came up with a wonderful idea. He said, why don't we go on the Camino? The Camino is a pilgrimage to the shrine of St. James in Spain, or Santiago de Compostela, on the northwest corner of Spain, where James the Apostle is buried. It's an old pilgrimage site, probably the oldest one in all of Europe. And we decided to take, there's numerous routes to get there. The one we took was from Portugal up into northern Spain. And the route was about like walking from here to Cedar Point. So if you got 3 weeks to spare, you can walk to Cedar Point. It'd take you that long. And on the road, they have yellow arrows painted. Now I have a little one here on my stick. A little one here on my stick here, so I don't know if the camera can pick that up, I don't know. But there is the little one there. And when you go down the route, if you get to a street and you see the arrow left, you turn left and you keep walking until you see another arrow, till you have to go turn right. And from time to time, you see an arrow going straight ahead. So theoretically, if you made all the right decisions, you could get there without even a map, because you would know that you were going in the right way. However, I had my doubts. So I hired a guide. And I was glad I hired a guide, because there were days when it was pouring rain. There were days when there was fog. And it occurred to me that if I missed one of these turns, I could spend a whole day walking in the wrong direction. And that would have been very hard, I can tell you, I think I cataloged 17 blisters on my feet by the third week was over. It was quite an amazing trip. But so it reminds me of today's first reading. Today's first reading. Moses goes up Sinai. This is Moses' second trip up Mount Sinai. He made two. The first one is very famous. You see it in the movie The Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston. He goes up the mountain, and the Lord God of a cloud with lightning etches the Ten Commandments and then hands them to Moses, played by Charlton Heston. And then Moses comes down the mountain. But what does he see? He sees his people forsaking God, worshiping some golden ox or something. And of course, Moses is furious, and he throws the Ten Commandments at the ox. It destroys the ox. It also destroys the Ten Commandments. And then he takes what's left of the Ten Commandments, grinds them up, puts it in water, and makes everybody drink it. Well, now he doesn't have the Ten Commandments. So Moses went back up Mount Sinai a second time to get another copy. This is before fax, you could, or they email it now, whatever they do. They don't have that. They didn't have that back then. He went up the mountain. This time, God does not etch the Ten Commandments for Moses. This time, Moses has to etch it himself with the chisel. God dictates it. He writes it down. Then Moses takes the Ten Commandments. Then Moses does something the second time around that he didn't do the first time around. He said, Moses bowed down the ground to worship and said, "If I find favor with you, O Lord, do come along in our company." Do come along. He wants the Lord to come with him down the mountain, to be with him. Because the first time down, he figures all I have are the rules, we'll follow the rules, we'll be fine. He realizes, oh boy, this isn't going to work, because as he says here, we have a stiff-necked people. Please come and pardon their wickedness and their sins and receive us as their own. He knows he's going to need more than these commandments. He's going to need God with him. And God comes down. If you read into Numbers and Leviticus and Deuteronomy, there are numerous passages where Moses is appearing, God's appearing to Moses, usually in Moses' tent in the form of a cloud. Or sometimes the cloud, which represents the Lord's presence in the cloud, will lead the people. Where the cloud moves, that's where the people go to. When the cloud stops, that's where they stop. That God is with them. Because just like you could go on a trip looking for those arrows in life, you make mistakes. You need a guide. And we have our guide. We have our arrows. We have the Ten Commandments. We have the teachings of the church. We have the Beatitudes. We have all of it there. But every one of us knows there's going to be times when we're going to miss those turns. And we're going to need a guide with us to keep us going, especially in those rainy, foggy days of our lives when it's tough and when the temptations are strong. But if we walk with the Lord as our guide to our spiritual life, then we will get where we're going. And where are we going is eternal life with the Lord.